Hey everyone, welcome to the Fighting Dementia Podcast. We're a podcast for those living with dementia or those supporting someone living with dementia who are in the early to middle stages. I'm Leon, one of the presenters.
Hi, I'm Fran, and I have Alzheimer's and mixed dementia.
And I'm Tom. I was diagnosed with mixed dementia 8 years ago, and I'm living really well with it.
Welcome everyone. My pleasure to be joined by Fran today. You doing all right?
Don't forget to tell them how unwell I am.
Oh no, that's already in the intro. Don't need to cover that. You all right, Fran?
Yeah, I am.
Good.
Thank you.
And it's a real pleasure to be joined by Kathy, who is a project facilitator from the House of Memories.
Hello, lovely to be here. Nice to meet you both.
Yeah, it's great to have you on.
Nice to meet you.
So do you want to tell us about how you got involved with House of Memories and why and what it is?
Yeah. The call went out that they needed a project facilitator for the House of Memories project that had been running in Liverpool for about 5 years, and I'd been following the progress of it because friends of mine were involved in the programme and had started off the work with the dementia community in Liverpool, and I just fancied it. I just thought I'll give that a go. And when I found out that they wanted somebody to go out into the community with a mobile museum, I thought that's the job for me. So went and found out a little bit about it, interviewed and got the job, and I've been doing it for 5 years.
Fantastic.
And you're enjoying it by the looks of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
The people I work with are amazing. They're a great bunch of people. They work hard, but they play hard as well.
Have you seen much change from when you first started now to now you've been there 5 years?
Yeah.
Have you seen an increase, or is
I've just that we're always learning.
Yeah.
As a team, we're always learning, and each project and each programme that comes along introduces us to the dementia community, and we just learn from them.
Yeah.
So the more that we engage with the community, the more we learn, the more we grow, the more we might change or adapt our practices so that we're doing really quality work with people, and they feel that they're being involved, they feel that they're a part of things. We're doing it with them, not to them, which is really important. And people want to be involved. People come to us and say, we want to get involved. How can we get involved?
Yeah.
And we tell them.
And what is it?
Well, there's lots of different things. I see it as an umbrella. And like the umbrella, House of Memories is an umbrella, and then each tranche of the umbrella is a different project or a different programme. For example, one tranche might be our memory suitcases. We've got about 25, 30 memory suitcases which communities can borrow for free to do reminiscence work. So they're all on different themes, different activities in each one, and they're full of goodies that help people start talking. And we all know what the importance is of getting people talking and getting people reminiscing, getting their brains thinking about the past and celebrating happy memories. Hence why we're called the House of Memories.
Fantastic. When you say reminiscence work, for those that aren't familiar with the term or might not have heard of reminiscence therapy or reminiscence in general, what is it that's great about it, and why is it a big thing?
The reminiscence work with us isn't very complicated, and it's not very scientific. It's just the museum is full of old stuff.
Yeah.
And why don't we just use all this old stuff to get people talking? And it's having those conversations with people, and where those conversations lead. Majority of the time they're happy memories, and that's great. But we do have sad memories too, and they need to be celebrated as well. Because you're tuning into people's emotions, and you're getting people emotionally involved in that activity and being involved in touching and feeling things. So there's a nice kinesthetic feel to all the practice that we do. Is that we're not just talking, we're touching old objects, we're feeling them, we're smelling them, we're listening to them, we're trying to make a real in-depth experience by engaging with these objects. And the objects are unique because they'll come from the museum.
Yeah. It's you touch in so many areas of brain health, aren't you, in terms of cognitive stimulation. We had the neuroscientist on, Ivan, who was talking about how just having a conversation is so taxing and you're using so much of your brain just to keep conversing. But then you're also you're conversing about, stuff from your past. There's objects, there's sensory stuff. So you've got the whole sensory aspect to the cognitive stimulation. You're conversing with others in the room, and you're also doing reminiscence or therapy, or reminiscence, which again is proven to improve the neurons that may be fading by strengthening those memories and bringing you back to a time that may be fading depending on what type of dementia you're faced with.
Exactly.
Do you have to, we're saying about you get the reminiscence suitcases, but are you finding now that you've got to go into different eras? Because now we have young onset dementia.
Yeah.
So it must be now you're going back not as far.
Not as far, yeah. I based our reminiscence on 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So we looked at the 50s and 60s, whereas now we're getting stuff ready for the 70s and 80s. So the roller boots are coming out. The the Rubik's cubes are coming out.
Yeah.
Can you do a Rubik's cube?
Yeah.
Can you?
No.
Well, I'll get you one and I'll make you do it.
My lad's just got into it recently.
Frank can do it.
He can do. Dylan, my lad, can do it in under a minute.
Yeah,
and
that's brilliant.
And he's trying to teach me.
Yeah,
and
Frank
I'm like on
can do it.
step one. It's bloody hard.
How did he
his
do
mate
it?
showed him in school, and then he'd watch some videos on YouTube, and then he's kids.
That's incredible.
I know.
I can remember getting my first Rubik's Cube, and I got it for Christmas, and I thought it was one of the best prezzies I'd ever got. And then I got under the covers in bed with a torch and unpeeled all the stickers.
So you cheated.
Peeled them all back on. I've got up the next day like, hey, I've done this.
That's amazing.
Who are we interviewing?
Amazing.
That's cool.
So you got the suitcases. So you actually go into communities, groups.
Yeah.
Because I've actually been to one of your sessions. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you were facilitating, but with Everton in the community.
Oh yeah.
It was quite funny though, because I think there was a mix-up and it landed with all of the Chinese themed suitcases. So all of these people in Everton were quite confused about the suitcases and what relevance it was to them. But they still had a good chat and a good laugh about it because there was all these Chinese.
Yeah, and they quite think go to our community. Well, people who came over in that time.
Weren't we one of the first communities in Europe?
Yeah.
Or one of the largest at some point back in the day.
Sometimes
they integrated really well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Not getting the right stuff it's
memorable.
It's memorable, and everyone had an experience.
That's going on anyway.
It's still showing you that stuff makes things happen.
Absolutely,
and it doesn't have to be really expensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be branded. It doesn't have to be the best you can find. It can just be objects that are will bring back memories for elders, so it resonates with them emotionally and mentally, so that they can have a conversation. So we're going into old people's homes or elders settings where there's people not talking all day, they're just sitting watching the telly, and there's not enough going on. But then if those people are invited to come and do a session on board on the road vehicle, or they do a suitcase session, it just changes the dynamic and just acts as a catalyst to get people talking.
Yeah, that suitcase thing's fab, isn't it?
Yeah, it works. It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah,
it does what it
says on the tin. So is that what you've seen? You're going into a place, it might be quite stale, and then you're sort of coming in and you can see sort of the room lighting up, and you're getting that reaction sometimes.
Yeah, it's not necessarily light bulb moments. It's much more gentle. But we do go from people not speaking to people chatting and
engaging,
giving us a response. And then some people you can't shut up.
I'm your prime candidate for that.
And then you're there for the day. Do you know what I mean? It's like my work is done.
That's brilliant.
Just to tell you a little bit about the House of Memories vehicle, because that's sort of like the flagship project of what we do. So this is another tranche of this umbrella that I'm telling you about, which is House of Memories. And the van goes out twice a week to work with elders in the community living with dementia. their family, their friends, their carers, and the adults that work with them. So it's not just for the person living with dementia.
Yeah.
It's for all the dementia
conversation.
community. Yeah. So everyone gets involved, and we're a mobile museum. We rock up, we set up, and then people come in groups of 6 to 8, and they engage with the immersive screens, which are digital screens. And those digital screens have got creative stimulus on, which trigger people to communicate and give response to. Open dialogue, open conversations, and again, just getting people chatting, getting people talking, interacting with the screens, so that they're having this kinesthetic experience of triggering the technology themselves. It's not me.
Yeah,
they're triggering the technology, and the technology is triggering the memories, and then those memories dilute and work with the people that are in the room. And create really nice positive environments for people to speak in.
And is that rocking up to community centres or people's homes?
We go to a variety of different places. Our core audience is care homes.
Okay.
Settings where there's people living with dementia. So sometimes we go to hospitals, sometimes we rock up outside a doctor's surgery.
Oh, lovely.
Sometimes we might go to a university, sometimes we might go to a day centre or a community hub or whoever is asking us. But as long as the audience is people living with dementia, their family and carers, and the family and carers are as important as the people living with dementia.
Of course,
getting them chatting, getting them involved in the technology, getting them involved in the suitcases, can lead to people, creating their own reminiscence work, which can be really valuable. I was going
to say, what's the hope of the outcomes of, have a great day, lots of cognitive stimulation. What are the outcomes that you're hoping, after leaving families?
Hopefully, there's two things that I'd say that they go away with: the memories of the day, and how they can say, "Oh, do you remember when some memories came? Do you remember when we did this? Or do you remember when you touched that wall and that that pop out happens?" Or so they've got something communal to speak about, but also we talk about our app. When we're doing our delivery. So we encourage friends and family and carers to have a go of the app, which is completely free. And that is full of museum objects. So it's like having a museum in your pocket. Okay. So the person...
It's good. I wouldn't mind seeing that ordinarily.
Yeah. Oh, it's really good fun. It's dead simple. You're just flicking through stuff again. Yeah. So, but it's themed. So, and they're called packages. So there's an LFC package, there's a Spanish package, there's a World War II package. There's about 30 packages.
We'll make sure we pull up some of the for the viewers, not the listeners, but we'll make sure we pull up some materials that are in the app that you can send with us. So can cycle through some of that stuff now, so people can see what you're talking about in terms of what's in the app.
Definitely. But so to taking away the app that's free, so they've engaged in a museum activity physically, and then that's been sort of guided, as it were. But then they can go and take the museum home with them and have a nose at the museum collection at home in their own
environment, where they feel safe
and in their own time.
So is it funded, this? Is it run by the council, or do you have funding, or has it got charitable aspects to it as well? Or?
We get a lot of our funding through applying for grants. So we apply for a lot of grants. Yeah. And my colleagues back in the office are wizards at filling in application forms.
Smashing.
So we rely a lot on that. And then we have donations. Obviously, people donate towards the programme. So we have donations. And then at the museum at the moment, we've just been given some funding from Lady Dodd, Ken Dodd's wife.
Oh, yeah.
And she's sort of like sponsoring the museum with a gift. to support the work that the museums do, and thankfully House of Memories is a part of that. And so she's allowed funds to go towards our programme of work.
Fantastic.
So there's private investors, as it were, and grants.
So you can basically see it going on, can't you? It's not something that you're going to lose in it, because some things people, when we speak to people, they're only just being it's charity donations, or and they're struggling to keep up with like cost of living and everything else, and then things are going a bit haywire. Then what I wanted to ask you was, you were talking about your Chinese suitcase. We've had a lot of people on, haven't we, about diversity and about cultures, different cultures, people who suffer with dementia and the way that they deal with it. Now, some communities don't want anyone else to come in or do anything.
Or don't acknowledge that dementia exists.
Or don't acknowledge that it exists. So it's nice to see that you've got a Chinese one. Have you got any other ones that you would think of using? Because we find there's a lot of problem in the Irish communities, isn't there?
Oh, we've got an Irish one.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
brilliant.
We're redoing the Irish one at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're redoing the Afro-Caribbean one at the moment.
Oh, great.
Because it just got a bit worn and a little bit stale. So they're being refreshed. But whenever we create new boxes, we always do it with the community. So they're saying, don't put that in, put that in. That's not relevant. That's too stereotypical, swap it for this or whatever.
Well, that's triggering. Or
Because what I think might go in it isn't what the community themselves would want represented. And it's having that dialogue, it's having that communication, so that the recipients are having an authentic experience with the things that have been chosen for them.
So we've got a lot of people listening and watching who are either living with dementia or supporting someone who's living with dementia. From your experience, doing what you do with House of Memories, have you got any thoughts or ideas on what someone, from what you've seen, what someone can do themselves to get the benefits of Reminiscence work and,
Yeah, in a really easy, a really cheap way, is creating your own memory box for that person. So it can contain anything. Obvious things are photos. You might put significant photos like birthday photos, wedding photos, significant photos, medals. People love a medal.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily mean war medals. I mean footy medals, dancing medals.
I've got swimming medals.
Swimming medals. There you go. So you've got your swim medals. So your medals go in. Your certificates that you've done go in. If anyone's particularly into anything, like if they're really, really into Paddington, stuff about Paddington, if they're really into Winnie the Pooh, something about Winnie the Pooh, anything that's like thematic or something that person associates themselves with. Clothes can be really good. Evocative fashion, all those sorts of things. So it's knowing that person. So say if you're doing it for your nan, you might have all those photos. Like my nan was called Bluebell as a nickname, so I'd probably put something with bluebells in to try it. Not real bluebells, but do you know what I mean? Something with bluebells on.
Nice, isn't it? That
would be like, oh nan, do you remember your CB name? Bluebell.
Yeah.
Have a bit of that. She loved Hold Your Plums on the radio.
Oh yeah.
She loved it. So
I play that Potty Toes clip. If anyone, do you remember that the woman who was trying to get into
Potty Toes?
What did Sir Francis Drake bring back? And anyway, it's
legendary.
It's legendary.
Give us a clue,
It was Hold Your Plums, and if you search Hold Your Plums potatoes on YouTube, it's a really good 4-minute clip of radio. It's hilarious. Honestly, no matter who you are, you can't listen to that clip and not be bursting out laughing at where it goes.
So what I'd probably do is I'd probably have a Walkman with a tape with that radio. That radio clip. because my nan bought me my first Walkman.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I was so trendy and so cool with this bright yellow Walkman with orange earphones. I thought I was the business, do you know what I mean?
I think we all did, didn't we?
And I'd probably put that in because that was a gift that my nan gave to me. So I said, Nan, do you remember when you got us all these for Christmas?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then listen to Billy and Wally and laugh and reminisce about that. So I know me nan dead well. So I can make things for her. So you know your elders with dementia really well. So go and make a resource box. Shove it in the corner. Get it when it's a quiet moment. Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out. And it can be used by other family members, and it can be used by visitors.
I can see how it's like really powerful, but also enjoy. Like I've got stuff at home, and it is like now and again when I'm tidying every 2 years or so, I'll come across it, and it is nice to like have a little look through and reminisce for anyone, isn't it? Know whether you got dementia or not. Do you have a memory box?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You do?
I do. Yeah, and I have. If I go out with anyone and get a receipt, I write who I've been with and what I had, and just wrap it up and put it in the memory box. So then if someone's saying to me or talking to me later on as I progress further, hopefully I'll just go, oh, yeah, when we went to the Ivy say.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I put them in and I get a beer mat. If I go somewhere different, like we went to Lakes, I got the beer mat and I write on the beer mat. That's where
Fantastic.
I was. Anything that makes me happy and anything that I like, I'll put into my memory box.
That's what it's all
it's
about.
Really powerful,
that's what it's all about. And it doesn't cost anything.
No.
It's not like you've got to go and buy all these objects.
No.
It's just found stuff or significant things that you've made yourself. Such as you're making your memories.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and even just things like birthday cards or Christmas ornaments or anything just to get chatting.
It's really powerful for like sense of self, isn't it, as well? When you are having when you've mentioned bad days or Tom has, and you're a bit lost or a bit feeling a bit low, you know, you could open that and all of a sudden you can be back to who you are, where you've been, where you've come from, and like you say, especially if it's positive memories, which mostly it will be in there. You know, it's going to help you to reminisce and get all the benefits of that.
I tend to see it having the same magic as the Playlist for Life. Because you've done Playlists for Life, haven't you? And that's we talk about people going and finding out about Playlists for Life and having a go of it, following their formula, which is brilliant. But it's, you know, you can create your own desert island disc for your loved one.
Oh, I love that. I love that program.
But imagine if you told me 10 of your favourite tunes and you had them to hand, either on an Alexa or if you needed it on CD, we'd get it you on CD or whatever format you listen to your music on, and you add those 10 tunes. You can tap into whatever vibe you're feeling. On that day, get that tune played, and you know it gives you a really nice experience.
Because I think sometimes it is great, but sometimes if you do a playlist or you do something, it can upset you as well.
Of course it can.
You can get distracted with something else. So it's good to have a lot of the good things in there, in your playlist or in your memory box that are good.
Positive,
You know, something. And I think even though you look at, I think a lot of people, and like myself with dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever it is, you look at something and you automatically go into that place, which is expecting you to do. But sometimes you're a bit side, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but you think, oh, I want to remember that then. And then I think, oh, well, I won't look at that now, I'll put that away. And then I'll go back to something and then I'll see it again. I think I'll think of the good time that I had there, not the bit that I didn't like that's attached to it. So you've got to be aware that sometimes it may make you a little bit sad.
Be careful,
but it makes you more happy than sad. It's just the odd thing that comes in that makes you feel a little bit disorientated, you know, and you think...
And it's good to talk about all that, isn't it? whoever's around, or you know, whoever's helping you put together the memory box, and making sure that if someone's sort of doing it for you, again, it's sparking conversation, isn't it? And that can only be helpful to process anything that might be difficult memories.
Because there's some I wouldn't put on my playlist.
Yeah.
Because I know that it'd upset me. But there's things that would upset me that, you see, like when my brother passed away, if we were in the car and we had the Eagles playing, now every time that comes on, I love it.
Right.
You know, it's how you think about things differently, isn't it?
In different moments.
In different moments, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because even though I knew it was a very sad time, it was a nice time.
Yeah.
We were both singing at the top of our voices and stuff like that. We were going to a market in Fleetwood, and it was just one of my happiest moments, even though I knew that he was going to pass away soon. But that was just mine and his personal time.
Yeah.
Now that makes me happy, doesn't make me sad. But other things can.
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
And I think music's got that magic, is sometimes you can be, your response to it can be different.
Yeah.
So sometimes it could be
exactly.
a happy day.
Yeah.
And then other days it can be something that's triggering in a different way.
Yeah. But it's all good at the end of the day. You know, having the House of Memories, having all these things, the people we speak to and stuff like that, it's all great. Because
it's the opposite
if we didn't have it.
Yeah, well, it's the opposite of social isolation and loneliness, because everything that you're doing is creating conversation, isn't it? Even talking about music, whether it makes you happy or sad.
Yeah.
It's lighting up your brain.
Yeah.
If you're just sat there just watching telly, or you're just sat there not doing much, or you're taking yourself away from all these things, your past, your memories.
Makes you more happy than sad, I think.
Yeah. So it's
you just get the odd one.
And anything that you can do to stimulate your brain.
We have what are called magic moments on the bus, where little moments of magic happen, whereby, for example, there was one lady and she was reading text on the bus, and because the wall's quite big, the text is quite big, so she could see the text, and she was reading the text, and the carer said, "We didn't know she could read." We didn't know she could read. So that lady's been in that care setting, not having anything to or they thought, oh, she can't read, so let's not give her the paper.
Issue, probably.
Yeah, and then they got her the glasses she needed, and she went on to have big text books and stuff like that, because they kept in touch.
I like the phones they've got with the big numbers on.
Yeah. Do you want one of them? So there's magic moments when you go, this is
brilliant.
Work today. This has really helped. Help somebody.
Yeah.
And we've had that where people they say, oh, she's an elective mute. She doesn't speak. And then all of a sudden, she says, I remember that.
Yeah.
Or I remember doing that. And everyone's like, she spoke.
Amazing.
Yeah. So how many people get on the bus? Sorry.
We work with groups between 6 and 8. 6 and 8 at a time. We can take more, but we're normally having people with wheelchairs.
Yeah.
So we have no more than 3 wheelchairs at a time, so everyone isn't fighting for space.
Yeah.
So we normally have 6 elders and 2 staff members. In at a time, so it's a nice little group of between 6 and 8. So we work between 30 and 35 people a day.
Oh, that's smashing!
So it's nice, small, intimate groups.
Yeah.
And in the world, do you know of any other organisations that are doing similar to what you guys are doing?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I might. I think the House of Memories is a first. There's lots of people doing great work.
Yeah,
working with people with dementia, as we know.
Yeah,
and we celebrate them.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anyone doing exactly what we do. With the commitments that the House of Memories has towards the community.
Yeah, great. And if if there's anything you could leave the audience with today, or something that we haven't talked about that you'd like them to know or think about, what would it be for people living with dementia?
What's that? Oh, that's a tricky question. No, I would say, if you don't know somebody living with dementia, go and find someone, because there's so much you can learn from the community out there. There's so much joy to be had. There's so much positivity and social gain on both sides.
Yeah.
Go and find a way to engage with the dementia community and have your journey.
Amazing.
I know, it's like when we were kids, we used to say to your mum and dad, tell us about the olden days.
Oh, I used to love doing that.
And you used to love that, didn't you?
Yeah. We used to say to me, Nan, tell us about the war. And she used to go, it was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. We didn't have any food, and we had to go to the air raid shelters, and your granddad would be having to use the paraffin light, and we'd all be like,
what's that?
Oh, wow, that's exciting. She made it sound dead exciting that they went and hid in the bottom of the garden. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be learned about resilience from the older generations.
Very much so.
They certainly faced a lot more hardship than maybe a lot of young people.
Can you imagine rationing now? Can I imagine saying to my son, you only have a meat once a week, and no sweets, no sweets, and we've got 6 eggs to get us through 2 weeks. What are we gonna do? They think we've gone.
Well, people remember that, don't they? As you say on your memory bus, you must have stuff about the war sometimes, and
we touch on it. I'll tell you what we touch on it with. We touch on it with ration books.
Yeah.
Because I say to them, you won't remember rationing, but your mum will. Because they won't. The living memory might not. There might have been kids. Or really young in the time of times of rationing. But we remember we were still rationing in the 50s.
Yeah.
So
because we were born in the 50s.
You weren't under rations, were you? You probably were, you just can't remember.
Yeah.
Because you were 5 or 4 or whatever. Yeah. Amazing. Well, if you don't mind sticking around, we do this thing called Reminiscence Corner, where we watch a clip from an old episode and have a little chat about it. So we'll have a short break and come back. We really hope you're enjoying this podcast. We want this to be one of the best free resources for any family affected by dementia. With your help, we can build the biggest community in the world for supporting, guiding and comforting everyone who faces cognitive issues and the people around them. So please hit that subscribe button or share it with someone who needs it.
I like everything to be in where it should be. And talking about Christmas, I found it very difficult and having the tree up, all the decorations. Usually I love all that, don't I? And this year I couldn't wait to get them down. They were just driving me nuts. I didn't want them in my space. I didn't like it at all, because it was not so much a routine, but it was, the living room didn't look like my living room, and everywhere else where I'd decorated didn't look like that either. Yeah, because it had all this stuff all over it. I just didn't like it at all.
You felt that was like putting you out of your routine?
Zinc.
Or,
put me out of zinc,
Okay.
And I couldn't do what I'd normally do cleaning wise, because there was that much around. Not that I don't always do the cleaning, Frank does it more than I do half the time now. But it was, I couldn't settle to it. I didn't like it at all. I couldn't wait. I think it was the week between Christmas Day and New Year that we took the tree down and took everything down and put it back to normal. I didn't like the change. It's true. I don't like anything like that now. I don't like, at Easter, I used to go nuts. I used to have everything all over the place, and eggs in baskets, rabbits everywhere, statues. I'd have them in the front garden, like I was for the grandkids. Yeah. And I thought, no, not doing it, can't cope with all that all over the place. So I just had 2 things on the fireplace, and I think I had something on the living room sideboard and in the on the table in the dining room, and that was it. When we took all the stuff out the loft, I just give it to my daughter.
Yeah,
because I can't. I don't like it no more. Yeah, I don't like anything that's not been too much.
Yeah,
you know, I don't like it. Whereas I used to love it. I'd have everything plastered on the walls and everything. I'd have them things that says Happy Easter everywhere and all stuff like that.
And you'd like a more consistent
the
environment
thought of that,
now.
I think, oh, no, don't want that.
And I wondered, Kathy, whether you've had any experiences of that nature where, you know, people are thinking, oh, shall I put lots more stuff in my house? Would that be helpful? Should I have things on display? I wonder if you've come across those questions in your work.
I think we find those questions out through carers and friends and family. And they'd probably say that they have a lot of thinking to do when their loved one changes from the home environment to a care environment, and what objects to take with them, because they don't want them to be in a bare. They see it as being in a bare room. So I think it's important that the elder and the family and friends and carers select those items together, so that the items that transfer into the care setting are ones that the people want around them. Yeah. And maybe if they don't want them around them, that's okay too. So I think it'd be in terms of possession and objects, it would be having discussion around, do you really want this ceramic cat? Do you know what I mean? Is this going or is this staying? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's having those conversations, because people want to be surrounded by positive things, of course, and people's objects stimulate memory. So if they've got objects around them that cause them to have positive memories, then I'm all for that.
I think it's really interesting what you're saying, because so much of the advice about dementia and things that we've come across, I think, is having conversations early. Yeah. And having lots of conversations about lots of different things, whether it's your musical playlist, whether it's what your wishes are, you know, if things change in the future from a care perspective. Yeah. Looking at wills and all those types of things, but also, you know, as things change, what do you want and what don't you want? And this is another example of having those conversations early about, you know, what you do like and what you don't like and what's, you know, is important, isn't it?
As a dementia patient myself, it's you change your mind quite often. So it's you just change your personality basically to what your personality used to be, like say Christmas, big occasions now, all stuff like that, things like that. So what I've done in lots of ways is I love charity shopping, and the other day I bought a little gold brass leaf.
Okay.
Because we had brass in our house all the time. We were kids, everyone did. So I've got that with something really quite modern, and that's next to it, so it looks really nice, but it reminds me of when I was younger. And I've got a china cup and saucer as well on one of my shelves. Just little things all around the house that remind me of when I was younger. And because if you went to your nan's, you always got a china cup and saucer. So you don't have to. I've got other few bits, but you don't have to put a load out or big things.
No.
I tell you what else I bought. Sorry, Frank went mad. He had to carry it all the way down the lakes before we got back to the hotel. An imperial typewriter.
Oh,
wow. Right.
Yeah, and it's.
I bet that's not
heavy as.
Yes.
Well, Marion called in the other week with Daisy's cake.
Oh, yeah.
And she said to me, oh, Fran, that typewriter's lovely.
Oh.
And I have it as like...
Does it work?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use it. The kids have always used it, my grandchildren. But I have it next to the sideboard on the side. And it's just like a piece of furniture, if you like. But that reminds me of when I was a copy typist and when I used to type. And an old-fashioned radio, a wooden one with no like that fan. I don't know what it's called. just an old-fashioned black Bakelite phone.
Yeah.
Just that's it. In the 3 rooms between them. I've got little things that I can identify as my past.
And if you get fed up of them,
I'll bin them. I'll put them back in there. Yeah, send them to the charity shop.
Yeah.
But I quite like what I've got now because it's just enough.
Okay. And each item holds a story.
Yeah,
as well.
it's a little brass sleeve.
Which your grandkids will love to know the stories behind those objects and why they're there.
Yeah.
Again, it's creating conversation and also that sense of self, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which in the later stages meant it can start to be lost, is that sense of self. So I think this is like so powerful and interesting, isn't it? To think about the physical side from this perspective, and the work that you do hopefully inspires a lot of that, and hopefully this message gets out there from this podcast about how important it can be.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a whole load of stuff.
No. And it doesn't have to be expensive or pretty or whatever. It just needs to be meaningful.
My little leaf was £2 out in the charity shop.
There you go.
But it was brass and you used to have to clean the brass.
And even that aspect of going out and visiting charity shops and browsing products is also going to be a form of reminiscence, isn't it? That's going to be stimulating to you.
I want to find something that'll make me rich.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Oh, amazing. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Kathy.
No problem.
It's been lovely.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope I get picked as one of the...
You'll be all over there, don't worry.
You will.
You'll be TikTok famous.
Yeah. You'll definitely be picked.
Thanks very much. Thanks everyone for listening.
And if you need anything else from House of Memories team, you only have to ask.
Yeah.
And you've got a website,
houseofmemories.com.
Boom. There you go.
Brilliant.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to us today. Hope it's been useful. If you have any questions or comments that you wish to make, just contact us on social media.
Thanks again for listening today. Just a reminder to do your own research. We always take guests, scientists, researchers, people supporting people living with dementia, people living with dementia at their word. They might talk about things that are new in science. They might talk about things that have really helped them. So just a reminder, do your own research. And thanks again for listening.